think they can operate over Iran with relative impunity. In other words, they've got air superiority over there. But now both President Trump said they want to increase the bombing rate. Well, fighter jets only carry 2 or 3 bombs, therefore you start to bring in the big bombers, and that's why we've seen these B-1 Lancers arrive at RAF Fairford. We've also seen some transport aircraft, C-5s and C-17s, operating out of there as well. Here's one of the B-1 bombers. It's only significant because these things can carry literally 10 times as many bombs. They can carry 28 cruise missiles, so they are very potent. The only challenge, of course, this morning, that there were some that were due to be landing in here in the UK, had to be diverted to Ramstein in Germany because the Great British Weather stopped them landing. But that would be trivialised. You know, there's clearly a lot of movements. There's also the transport aircraft, these massive we don't know what they're carrying. They could be just on routine flights, but it's very likely they're carrying weapons and stuff like that. You'd normally transport weapons across using at sea because you can carry many more of them. But of course, it takes a long time. In the back of these things, you can generally put quite a lot of weapons in the back there.
Big old thing, isn't it? It's enormous.
Yeah, I mean, some of these aircraft, they can put 2 tanks in the back, so they can literally carry enormous amounts. If we then flip over, that's what the Israelis and the Americans are doing to Iran. But as you said, we've heard Salih and others talk about what Iran is doing back. And of course, there's been attacks in Kuwait, the Dubai Tower. One of the things we're seeing a slightly reduced number of these ballistic missiles coming in. But of course, the number of drones, the Shahed 136 drones that Iran has, these are relatively cheap. They only fly at sort of 130, 140 miles an hour. But there's rumours there could be up to 70,000 of these that Iran has. And while one may not get through if it's fired one at a time, 50, 100, deluge defences.
And do you get a sense of a change of tactics? Iran certainly says that civilian infrastructure, for example, the big oil facilities are being attacked. And we're seeing the same too in the likes of Bahrain. Do you see a change in tactic?
Well, if I was on the American side, you know, once you've got air superiority, the challenge is military action is only a means to an end. The end is a political end state. So what are you trying to achieve? Degrade the ability to enrich uranium. We're probably going to be seeing targets hit, but they tend to be quite remote, so we wouldn't get much reporting on them. The other bit, of course, is the IRGC. You're actually going to start degrading. We've watched all of the Iranian military, the Navy be lost, the Air Force be lost. I suspect they're going to start focusing on the army. For the Iranians themselves, ultimately, it's very difficult to see them winning, but all they have to do is not lose. And at the moment, if America is not prepared to put boots on the ground, it doesn't matter how much you pound the outside, they're still going to survive. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Indeed. And of course, we have heard that a new US Supreme Leader has been appointed. We don't know who yet, but of course, we'll bring that to our viewers as soon as we get it. Let's just go back to our focus on the UK. We heard that HMS Dragon is ready to be deployed by Tuesday. Word of talking, I know you've been looking at the Prince of Wales aircraft carrier. What's the very latest on that?
Well, so here's Dragon. Yes, there was slight confusion. I mean, the British forces have a lot forward deployed in Cyprus. There's jets, there's support and everything. But this is one of the newest ships in the Royal Naval Inventory. There's 6 of them. It does seem very odd that one of them wasn't deployed. Well, in a rush, we've now heard that it is going to be deployed on Tuesday. It is worth pointing out, though, this is a ship. But a ship doesn't equal military capability because you need people in there. They need to be properly trained and ready to go. And I would not underestimate, every time I used to go to sea on the carriers, you know, everybody has a role in safety and security. If fires break out, it's really dangerous. There's a lot of training. So although that will deploy on Tuesday, it'll probably have some brand new faces on board and they'll need a bit of training on their way.
Briefly, you said it's odd that it wasn't deployed. Should it have been deployed earlier?
I think there's a case that, you know, I think it just reflects at how thinly spread the military is. The HMS Prince of Wales here, that was the other thing that was talked about. We've deployed one of the carriers to the Far East for several months. By the time that comes back, everybody needs a break. The ship needs to be refreshed. The Royal Navy was looking to go to the High North next. All of a sudden, it's not easy that you can just suddenly wind up a ship. And the carriers are a good example. We have 4 nuclear submarines to keep one at sea the whole time, and our nuclear deterrent, we've only got 2 carriers, so they can't guarantee to be always available. The trouble is it's a bit like a fire brigade that's only available some days a week, and that doesn't really work.